Hi guys, it's Jessica here again. I have a story time for you guys, and this happened many years ago. I was probably about 16 or 17. I know I was underage because there was this club here in Maine called Suits that we'd go to, so I might have been even younger. And it was a bar during the night, and after 1 it closes. You can't have any alcohol anymore, but then it would open up and they would have underage, come free from 1 to 3. So it was pretty darn late to be out, but my parents were pretty cool, so they let me go with my friend. So we'd be out here in the middle of nowhere. It got closed down eventually because like across the way was like housing or some old people's home, and they hated it because there was so much noise and so many people in line would be up around the corner. Anyway, let's just get to the story. So what happened is a friend of mine, let's call her Darla. Okay, Darla and I know if she sees this, she'll know that I'm talking about her. And so we used to always go all the time. And we would go specifically because she had a crush on this guy, and we would have little nicknames for people, and we kind of called him Austin Powers because he always wore like this big flashy shirt that kind of looked like an Austin Powers type thing. And we'd also kind of call him like Justin Timberlake because he would look like him with like the hair and everything back when he was like was in sync. So he kind of had the Justin Timberlake going on and then the Austin Powers clothes. Quite a mix. I know. And so we basically, she finally got the courage to go and talk to him. She kind of knew about him anyway. And I guess they like used to work together somewhere, but they never really talked or didn't work in the same department, but she kind of knew him. So he was wasted already because he's older, so he was completely wasted. And him and a bunch of his guy friends decided to invite us to go to a after party at a house. So I only agreed to go because I figured it was going to be like a whole bunch of people, like girls and guys, and just a whole bunch of people kind of chilling and maybe drinking, hanging out, stuff like that. Like I've gone with a couple of my girlfriends before, even when I was going to the bars and stuff, and meet up with people, go back, we play ping pong, or we wind up, playing beard eye, stuff like that. But this is not what happened, and this was my first time going to like somebody's house after, the club. So it's already like 3 o'clock because that's when it closed, so it's probably around then. So anyway, we went there, and I already had a weird feeling in my stomach. I'm usually very intuitive about stuff. Like I don't think I'm overly cautious because I still like to do things and be spontaneous and meet new people and do new things, but there would just be certain situations I'm in, and I think everybody's been in them, where you just get that feeling in your stomach, something's not right. So I knew something was not right, but we went. I just was telling it to shut up. It's probably just me, my nerves. I'm just nervous, blah, blah. I don't know these people. Whatever. I don't know. And so she winds up driving. We had our own vehicle, and we weren't drinking or anything because we were underage, and we were just there to hang out and go to the club and dance and all that stuff. So we went to this after party, and it wound up being in like the middle of the city at this like ghetto looking apartment. We go upstairs, and the kid that she liked is passed out in the bathtub, puking all over himself. Not attractive. So the whole point of going was her to be able to kind of like hang out with him. So I was like, okay, I went along to, be a friend and take one for the team by helping her out and going to something I really didn't want to go to, or hang out with these guys I really wasn't interested in, that were way older than I was, and just didn't have any interest in at all. And the guy is passed out drunk, so there's just no way she's even gonna get to talk to him. There's no girls there. There was probably about 4 or 5 guys, and they started acting kind of weird. And so and they were trying to offer us drinks and stuff and this and that. My friend took one. I've always been leery about that, about taking drinks, especially ones that are already open, given to me, because you don't know what people are putting in that stuff. I'm not stupid like that. I've known too many people that have gotten raped and got hurt and had things happen because of just not thinking about stuff or paying attention to their guts, their intuition. One of the guys there, I don't even remember who he is or anything or his name, but I did then. I heard of him. And I told him that I had a headache. So I didn't want to stay, and I was trying to tell my friends I didn't feel good, I want to go home, stuff like that. And she was my ride, and I didn't want to call my parents, you know, it's getting late, even though I know they were up anyway, but because they're like night owls, so they'd be up all the time, and that was kind of why they didn't really mind if I was out. They trust me because I was pretty responsible as a kid. And so I'm pretty stuck because I'm pretending to have a headache. He's giving me Tylenol. I just take it, and then I'm just like, I still don't feel very good. I'm feeling nauseous. I'm just trying to find any excuse to leave. And I'm edging towards the door. And as I'm edging towards the door, he's standing right there in front of the door, blocking me, and would not let me even open the door. Locks the door behind him. Immediately, doo-doo, like these alarms go off in my head. This is not good. This is turning into a really bad situation. Something potentially could be happening. My friend's just off la-di-da, you know, doesn't care about whatever, like not paying attention to the fact that these guys are all acting like creeps, and there are more of them than us. The guy that she likes is passed out in the freaking bathtub in his own puke, and these guys are just trying to get us further and further and further into the apartment and getting us towards like the rooms and stuff. Was not interested at all in these guys, and not interested in that. That's not why I came. I came to hang out and just like maybe meet new people. There was no girls there. It just was sketchy. So my friend, I still had to try to really push and be persistent with her, but I don't remember what I said or what I did, but I think eventually I just got out the door. And then, make it even better, it was storming like snow, awful, right at that time. It was just like coming down really, really bad. And so I was thinking, okay, it's really, really bad out right now. We gotta get home because we don't want to get caught in the storm, because she has like a little Cavalier. It's not that great in the snow. Let's head home now. And we were like probably only about 20 minutes away from our house, because me and her lived pretty close to each other. So she just dropped me off and go home. Oh God, I wish so bad. And I think this is why I now prefer to drive everywhere myself. I always like having my own car so I can leave when I want to leave and not have to rely on other people. This is like specifically the reason why. And I was getting really bad anxiety. I knew it was a bad situation, and my friend just wasn't listening. And then on top of that, she was acting like I was being ridiculous, that I was acting like really stupid or overly like, oh my God, like, and being like stupid about the whole thing. And I finally got outside, finally got her edged outside, got her to get in the car and be like, we got to go. We have to go. And these guys are still following us outside, trying to get us to come back in. And they're working my friend because they know that like she's the one that is my ride, and she's the one that's into this whole thing. And I don't think she was down for doing all that stuff or realizing what was even going on. She just was like, oh, attention, and I'm having fun, and these are guys. And it was just so stupid. Oh my God, so stupid. And I love her to death, but these are some of the things that she would drive me nuts about. Oh my God, why? Why me? Why me? So we finally get in the car, we finally get on the road, we're heading home. Breath of relief. Like, I couldn't believe, I just could not get out of there fast enough. I could not get away from those guys fast enough. I just felt it was not a good situation at all. The whole ride home, she's making fun of me. She's saying I'm being ridiculous. She can't believe I ruined her night, that I cut it short, that these guys were just fine, that I was just overreacting, that just everything, just making me feel stupid for feeling the way I feel. And it was just really, really shitty thing to do, I feel like, to not respect that your friend was really, really uncomfortable and didn't want to be somewhere that we were at, and the guys were acting really sketchy, and her not even recognizing that. So then, this is the twist. And this is why I always listen to my gut no matter what, my intuition, because, and girls, always, always, always listen to your intuition. Pay attention to this warning signs. You get like red, there's something wrong here, something wrong with this guy. Pay attention to it, because it really could help you save your life. It could save you from getting raped. It could save you from getting hurt, something happening to you, getting drugged, who knows what. Well, we found out a couple of days later that one of the guys is a rapist. Dead serious, that he had raped another girl that we had known. And she didn't like report it officially or anything, but that like it was like something that people were saying and everything, and I knew the girl, and I knew that it wasn't a lie. I knew that this guy was a creep, just the way he was acting with me. And apparently, like, this is what these guys do. They like prey on younger girls. I mean, they were a bit older, and they're at the bar getting drunk, and then they wait for the after hours for the all the minors to come in, and they find these girls, and they take advantage of them, and they bring them back, and they give them false pretenses that it's like, oh, it's gonna be like a party thing. No, it's a private party that we're gonna screw you. And if you're not down for that and you don't want to do it, they're very, very persistent. They were with me, and it was to the point where the guy was even blocking the door, which I couldn't believe, and locking it. I don't even know how I wound up getting outside, how I wound up getting away, but I just knew that I refused to move from that kitchen where the front door was and further into where the living room was, and then where the bedrooms were, the bathroom. I went in there far enough to go to the bathroom and see that guy that she liked passed out and puke in the bathtub, totally gone, just unconscious, drunk. And I just knew, done. This is not happening. I mean, the guy you like's not even, like, I would have tolerated maybe sitting there and be like, hee, maybe flirt with the guy a little bit while she's trying to, like, flirt with her guy to get his attention, but that was not the situation at all. It was, like, something to lure us in. And I'll tell you, though, one thing that she did do is she did apologize. And she told me that she couldn't believe that I actually, like, was really on point with that I knew this guy was no good, that we could have really gotten hurt somehow, or drugged, or something was not right. And thankfully she didn't even drink that much of that, like, little can of beer or whatever he gave her, and that I didn't drink anything either. The only thing I drank was tap water that I got myself to take some Tylenol to, like, because I faked a headache to try to get the hell out of there, hoping maybe that would help me get out. But there's other things you could try to do. I mean, if you're in a situation like that, I mean, pay attention to warning signs. Don't even go into a stranger's house like that. I mean, so many girls do these things, and it really is like Russian roulette. You could be fine, and you could totally just, like, these guys could be totally fine. You could be totally just having a good time, meeting somebody new. Nothing bad happens. But then you also are taking that risk, that 50-50 risk that something bad could happen. And I just really hope that, like, this could be something that you guys listen to. It doesn't seem so scary now, really, but thinking back to that moment and just how terrified I felt at that time, and how I just could not get out of there quick enough, and that I was physically feeling ill, and physically just, I had so much, it's like that fight or flight you get when you know that you're in some type of danger. You're not in a good place. So anyway, mommy lecture, sorry. Moral of the story is just, please girls, listen to your intuition, because it's what's gonna help keep you safe. And just because you have a friend that might pressure you into a bad situation, or will make you feel stupid because, oh, you feel a certain way and it seems really dumb, and you're overreacting or something like that, don't let that run it. Don't let that take you and make your decisions for you. Go by your intuition. Go by what you feel. And whatever they say doesn't matter, because your safety matters above all. And I even made sure that she was safe. She got home safely just like I did. Because if I had just decided to leave and go take a taxi, because I didn't even want to leave her there either, because that was one of my options, is I could have just called the taxi if I needed to and go home, or call my parents or something. But I decided that I can't leave without her, because something bad was going to happen to her, and I couldn't live with myself if I knew something happened to her while I left and took care of myself. So you gotta look out for your friends too. I think a lot of times when things happen, I mean, to get kind of deep into this, but like, like things happen to people where people get kidnapped or murdered or raped, or really bad things will happen. It's because girls aren't looking out for each other. I mean, your girls are your girls, watch out for each other. if you all are getting all wasted, you need to have somebody that's somewhat, not so gone, to kind of just keep an eye on everybody and to just make sure everybody's safe. So anyway, I just made this video really long. I apologize. But so guys, please be safe and make sure that you always listen to your intuition and make smart decisions, especially if you're young. And I know that the number one thing everybody says and thinks is, it won't happen to me. That's what everybody says. And you know what? I'm telling you, that is famous last words. So, enough of the PSA. I just wanted to tell you a little bit of a story about what I went through, and I just hope that you could just, heed my warning on this and what happened with me, and just make sure you follow your intuition. Don't let peer pressure get to you. Don't let, feeling stupid or feeling, judged or looked at weird run you. Make a decision based on you and what makes you feel safe and what makes you feel comfortable. I'm sorry, that was kind of a deep thing, but that was just like a story about what happened with me, and I just hope you guys learned something from it, that, this stuff happens. And I know it's been a while since I've been, an underage teenager, but I know that things don't really change. The fundamental things don't change, the basic stuff. You might be different music, different drugs, different drinks, different places, different type of style and all that, but the motives and the same things all are the same. I just hope you guys all protect yourselves and just be safe. Okay? Well, thank you for watching. So if you like this video, and if you guys have a story about a situation where you followed your intuition, or you didn't follow your intuition, you wish you had, and it turned out to be, hopefully nothing too serious, but if something happened that you followed your intuition or you didn't follow it, and then what happened, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. So please leave me a comment, like and subscribe, please. And until next time, bye.